Alright guys, so today we're checking out the brand new Lenovo Droplet True Wireless Earbuds. Now I want to go ahead and say that this is easily one of the smallest cases I've seen on a pair of true wireless earbuds, but it's also some of the smallest earbuds that I've seen so far as well. So I can definitely tell where the name Droplet came from. Everything on this is very tiny, and actually the price right now on these are very tiny as well, because they come in retailing at $50, but somehow on Amazon there is a $25 off coupon, so you can actually pick these up for 25 bucks. But we're gonna check out what kind of sacrifices they had to make to get an earbud this small. We're gonna see what comes inside the box and see if it's actually worth the $50 or $25 price tag. So let's go ahead and start with the fact that these have Bluetooth 5.0, and they are an excellent pair of earbuds for media. I didn't notice any kind of lag with movies, I didn't notice any kind of lag with videos, and there was only a slight lag when it came to gaming. And I think that's very impressive because a lot of earbuds, especially budget earbuds, tend to lag when it comes to media, and I was really impressed with how well these kept up. Now, as far as the IP rating, they do come in rated at IPX5. So if you're looking for a pair to use at the gym or use outside while you're running, it's going to be fine against rain or sweat, but this is still not a pair that you're going to be able to submerge into water. Now, as far as what you're getting inside the box, it does come with the usual small, medium, and large silicone ear tips. And I think it's very important to get the right fit because this is a pair that's so small. You want to make sure that they're secure in your ear. Now, as far as the charging cable, it comes with a USB-C cable. And this is where I think the first big sacrifice had to be made because of the size. The battery obviously can't be a large battery in the case, and there's not a large battery in the earbuds either, because on the earbuds you're only going to get around 4 hours of use, where with the charging case you're only going to get around 10 hours total. Now, this is some of the smallest battery life that I've seen on a pair of earbuds, but again, this is also some of the smallest earbuds that I've seen. So you kind of have to pick if it's worth that trade-off to you. I don't think a lot of people use their earbuds for more than 4 hours at a time anyway. So for a lot of people, it may not be that big a deal. Now, moving over to checking out the case on these, again, I can't stress how tiny this is. So it's easily pocketable. It's easy to carry around and kind of forget that it's there. And I like the fact that it has a sliding door over the top instead of the usual clamshell design. Now, on the back, you can see the USB-C input for charging. And then around on the front, you have your 4 indicator lights. That way you can kind of gauge how much battery life is left on the case. So moving over to looking at the earbuds, again, this is a very tiny earbud, but I do like the design that Lenovo went with here. It has a larger flat surface because these do use touch controls, and it just makes it easier to tap and not feel like you have to hit this very small area. And speaking of the controls, you have control over everything but the volume. Now, I wish this is something that they would have had on here. You only have the ability to play, pause, skip your track forward, and go backwards. So if you want to control the volume, you either have to summon your smart assistant or pull out your phone. And for me, I just find that to be inconvenient. I personally just like to have all of my controls all on the earbuds. So one thing I want to say about the earbuds as far as putting them in my ears, because they are so small and because they have this unique design, I actually had to look down at the earbud to see where the microphone was placed to make sure that I was putting them in my ear the right way. It's not something that just has a normal look, so you just know how to put them in. And you actually have to put them in where the L and the R is upside down. So it is confusing at first, but once you put them in a few times, you get used to it. But again, that's one of those setbacks because of these being so small. Now, as far as you guys that like to use your earbuds individually, you'll be happy to know that you can use either the left or the right. And then as far as the microphones on here, this is an area I think they did a pretty decent job with. So if you are somebody that likes to use your earbuds for phone calls, I think you'll be more than happy with these. But you guys can be a judge by listening to a test here.
All right, guys, so here is a mic test using the Lenovo Droplet. I think it does a really good job of picking up my voice. In fact, I even think it picks up bass tones pretty nicely. But this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call. And so now here's the mic test with a crowd noise being played, which you can hear here. So this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call in public.
So now let's talk about the sound. The sound on these is a very consumer-friendly sound. What I mean by that is it has the typical U-shaped sound signature, which means there's a lot of focus on the bass and a lot of focus on the treble, while leaving the mids kind of in a safe area where it doesn't get lost in the mix, but it's not too upfront either. So if you're somebody that likes a pretty dynamic sound, I think they did a really nice job of keeping the bass controlled, but still picking up even sub bass very well. I mean, I felt like it had plenty of punch, which was kind of surprising because of the earbud being as small as it is. The treble brought out a lot of detail. Again, it balanced out really nicely with the bass, and that's with listening to pretty much any genre. I even felt like with metal or other genres where there's a lot going on, it never got muddy, it never sounded congested, so I was really surprised they were able to pull that off. Now, as far as the sound stage and the sound imaging, because the bass is not overpowering, it never made me feel like I was closed in. I felt like I was in a larger room, so the sound had a little bit of space to it, and I had no issues with being able to tell where instruments were coming from. And again, because of the price tag and because of the size, that's very impressive. Now, as far as my cons with these, it's really hard to nitpick a pair that you can pick up for 25 bucks. But I will say I wish I had a little bit more battery life, and I definitely wish they had volume controls. That's really the only thing that I would change on these. But again, most people don't use their earbuds for more than 4 hours at a time. So I don't think a lot of people will have complaints, especially given the $25 or even the $50 price tag. But guys, that's my video on the brand new Lenovo Droplet True Wireless Earbuds. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.